This is Google Apps Updates Roundup number 134. In this episode, I will show you more than 26 new features in 11 different Google apps, so make sure all your apps are up to date and let me show you what's new. Let's start the episode with Gboard, and here I'm gonna show you 5 new changes. We got 2 new changes under settings. When you go to preferences, you will see the font size slider available front and center instead of being hidden under a separate menu. And if you want to get back to the default size, you have a button over here. Another completely new feature is the ability to change the emoji size in the emoji grid. So let me show you how it works. Every time you move the slider, it will show you how many emojis can be shown in one row, and this is the biggest size. Once you change the size and then open Gboard, then go to the emoji page, as you see now I only have 5 emojis per row and they look massive. The third change is under the stickers tab. Google replaced the describe your sticker text box and the photo picker button next to it with one bar at the top saying try creating images in Gemini. Tapping on it takes you to the Gemini app right away. I tried to create a sticker, but I couldn't find a way to save this sticker in Gboard like I used to be. So as you see here, I saved a couple of stickers before, but I couldn't find a way to do the same using this new process. So maybe the feature is broken or new and needs some refinements. Moving to the writing tools, we got a nice improvement. Now it accepts more characters when compared to the previous version. On the left, you can see a screenshot from my previous video selecting the same exact paragraph. And after tapping on the writing tools button, it only picked the first 2 sentences. But currently, when I do the same action, it takes the full paragraph, plus now I have the ability to scroll inside the generated text box, which didn't exist before. But keep in mind, when I select more than 2 paragraphs, it actually limits itself to the first one. So let me show you what I mean. Now I have 2 paragraphs selected, and when I go to writing tools, it automatically selects the first one only. So it's still limited, but definitely better than before. And lastly, we got a nice quality of life change. Now it memorizes the last language you used per app, but this feature only works on Android Canary 2608 if you are a Pixel user. So in this app, for example, I have the English keyboard. This one, I still have the English keyboard, but once I go to WhatsApp, it turns itself into Arabic, which is a really nice feature, and I think we already have this on iOS. Next, Quick Share. And here I'm gonna show you 2 new changes. Finally, the tap to share feature I talked about in my QPR2 Beta 3 video is fully functional on my Pixel 10 Pro XL and the 9 Pro XL. Both are running QPR2 Beta 3, and I couldn't get this feature to work on any of the previous models. So let me show you the new animation because it looks really nice. So for example, I'm gonna try to share this photo. Once I hit the share button and bring the 2 devices closer to each other, you can see this full screen animation and immediately get the option on the other phone to accept the file. Once I tap on accept, as you see, it looks totally different when compared to the previous version. When it comes to the haptic feedback you get with this animation, it feels exactly the same as the one you get with Circle to Search. I also found that the gesture works the best when you bring the 2 devices close to each other from the back side. But when I try any other angle, it doesn't actually work. So for example, when I try it from the front, it doesn't work. When I try it this way, it doesn't work. So the best option is to bring the back of the phone, and that's the most convenient way to do it. The second change is the ability to toggle this feature on or off to avoid any accidental sharing. Once you go to the quick share settings, you will see the toggle over here. It says tap to share, instantly share contact info and other content between 2 phones. And here is the toggle. When you tap on the menu item, it will show you a tutorial on how to use the feature. Next, Gemini. And here I'm going to show you 4 new changes. The first change is the new 3.7 Flash model, now accessible from the model picker with the new tag next to it. As per Google, the 3.7 Flash is better than 3.6 in multiple things. The bold numbers are the better. It's mainly better in coding, analysis, complex workflows, and more. The second change is the expansion of third-party apps integration. So when you go to settings, then personal intelligence, then connected apps, when you scroll all the way down, you will see some new options like Wix, we have Granola, Fever, Dropbox, and more. The third change is Gemini Live now supports deep research, so you are no longer limited to the prompt box to achieve this, and here's a quick example. And the last change is the new Gemini overlay on Wear OS, and here's how it looks. What's the weather? Next, Google Maps. And here I'm gonna show you two new changes. The first change is Google started to roll out Ask Maps to more than 150 countries. Once you get the feature, you should see the button under your search bar. And let me tell you that this feature is extremely useful. You can ask whatever questions that come in mind to help you plan your trip. And as an example, here's a place in Sinai and I want to know more about it. Once I tap on Ask Maps, it opens an overlay card with some suggestions, or you can simply paste your own text or use the microphone. So in this case, I'm asking about the best time of year to visit Nueva, average hotel prices with 4+ rating and top attractions. And here it's doing all the research for me and then giving me all the information I might need, which is very, very handy. The second change is the integration of Ask Maps with personal intelligence, so it gets access to your data in apps like Calendar, Photos, Gmail, Drive, and more, which helps in recommending relevant info based on what it knows about you. And if you want to turn off this integration, head over to the profile menu, scroll all the way down, you will see a brand new menu item called Connected Content Apps. When you go inside, you will see two options, one for Google Workspace and one for Google Photos. When you tap on the connected button, you will have the ability to disconnect these integrations. Next, the Screenshots app. And here I'm gonna show you two new changes. The first change is the new filters system that will make it a lot easier to locate a screenshot. You will find the new filters button in the tags carousel. Tapping on it reveals a full screen card full of categories. First, we have tags, which will allow you to choose multiple options. Then we have the date range with some presets, or you can pick a custom date using the calendar, in addition to sources, which includes all the apps that you gathered these screenshots from. Once you hit apply, you will see the screenshots you selected. And if you want to remove any of these filters, you can tap on the X next to it. The second change is the new mobile data toggle under settings. Now you have the ability to use mobile data when processing if you don't want to wait for a Wi-Fi connection. Before talking about the next app, if you like my wallpapers, go ahead and download the Wallpapers by In-Depth Tech Reviews app. That will give you access to hundreds of exclusive wallpapers that will make your smartphone look stunning. Plus, I recently added a brand new category called Shot on Pixel. That includes the best photos I took on any of my Pixel phones. You have the ability to download any of these photos locally on the device, so you can apply the wallpaper effects on any of them. Plus, you have the ability to edit any of them before downloading. If you want to give it a try, you will find Google Play Store download link in the description. And now let's get back to Google Apps. Next, Google App. And here I'm gonna show you three new changes. The first change is the redesigned voice search. We got a brand new page layout with a new animation and waveform while talking, but functionality wise, it works exactly the same. The live chat also got a complete revamp with this update. You get a totally different initial screen with a brand new waveform while talking. And when you enable the video, you get an edge-to-edge viewfinder with an animation that goes all around the screen that also animates while I'm talking. So let me stop for a second to show you how it animates when the assistant talks back to me.
That's an interesting question. Sometimes when someone talks behind your back,
so I really enjoy this new animation as it looks really, really nice. And the last change is related to the AI mode. When you start chatting like this, the text box and live buttons are now using a white color with a 3D effect instead of using the gray color like before. Next, Google Chrome. And here I'm going to show you two new changes. The two changes I'm going to show you are under the app settings. The first change is the new default browser menu item under basics. Tapping on it takes you to the default apps page under settings, so you can change your default browser from here. The second change is related to the search bar animation. Every time you open a sub menu, it hides itself like this, and when you go back, it appears back again. Not only this, but when you tap on it, now you get access to the recent searches with the ability to delete your history. Next, Google Play Store. And here I'm going to show you two new changes. Finally, Google started to allow downloading third-party app stores from Google Play Store. As an example, when I search for Aptoid, I get this banner at the top saying looking for Aptoid games. If you are looking for app stores, you need to go to the third-party app store page with a quick button that takes you to this listing. Here you have a disclaimer saying Google Play is now distributing third-party Android app stores in the United States, and it's giving you here some heads up like the third-party app stores operate under their own security and privacy practices and so on and so forth, with the ability to view the listing and install the third-party app store from here. For now, we only have Aptoid games, with more coming in the future. The second change is US users are now able to use Venmo as a payment method, which I'm not going to be able to show you in camera as I'm not in the US. Now let's talk about the apps that only got one new change, starting with Google Photos. Sometimes when you play a memory, you might see this new edit button at the bottom left corner, which will allow you to edit the memory as one video. It will add all the photos and clips used. Here you can tap on any of the items to stretch. Here you have the ability to edit any text shown on the screen with the ability to adjust the font, the color, remove it, or edit the actual text itself. Then you have the ability to edit the music. You can also choose if you want motion or not. In addition to the ability to change the fill, here you can fit or fill the entire frame. So you have multiple things to do to your memory before sharing with others. The Recorder app got a brand new icon that matches the one we currently have on the Pixel 11. And by the way, my 11 Pro XL is on its way. It should arrive on the 25th of August. So expect a lot of new videos about this phone, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified once they get released. Similarly, the Weather app also got a brand new icon, plus the AI weather report got renamed to Weather Brief. And lastly, Google started to roll out a new design for the ring around the profile picture in Google Apps if you have an AI Pro or higher subscription. And here's how it looks when you expand the profile menu. The account picker also got redesigned with this new arrow, and the word Pro is now showing in blue. When you compare this to the previous version, we used to have the 4 Google colors around the profile picture, but now it's more inspired by Gemini. So that's pretty much it for today. These are all the new features I wanted to show you in Google Apps, and if you spotted any new change, you can reach me out on social media so I can include in my future episodes. But for now, thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next video.